let's do this. Let's bring this a little bit closer. All right, one sec. Make sure we're good here. All right, cool. Let's go live on the Instagram and let's get to it. All right, let's get started. Let's get this going. Cool. All right. What's going on, everyone? We got the YouTube here, and we also got the Instagram right here. Again, welcome back. This is a weekly podcast that I'm doing here. Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This is episode 14. All right, so we've done 13 of these already. Episode 14. So we're trying to pick things up, make things more consistent. But yeah, we're working hard, trying to get there. But yeah, guys, welcome to the podcast again. I mean, it's not necessarily a podcast, more so a live stream, but we'll take what we can get. But yeah, let me know, what are you guys up to? How are you guys' day going before I go in and start asking or answering questions? What's going on, everybody on the Instagram? How we all doing? Oh, for those of you guys that don't know, I'll leave it in the YouTube chat here. You can find me on Instagram at Alex Kouras. I'll leave it in the chat right here. And then on Instagram, you guys can find me on YouTube if you just type in Alex Kouras. All right, so there you go. So find me on YouTube, Alex Kouras. Find me on Instagram at Alex Kouras. So pretty simple, right? If you guys want to follow me on both platforms. And then, of course, it's the same thing on TikTok, too. All right, let's get right into some of these questions. Ardesh Noor, what's up, man? Ardesh asks, number 2 buzz cut, all around, no fade. Number 2 buzz cut, all around, no fade. Oh, you're asking me if I'll do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Actually, hold on. I've done a fade like that. Let me just double check real quick. I've definitely done buzz cut. Number 2 buzz cut. This was number 5. This was a number 1 guard all the way around. I don't think I did a number 2. I think I did a number 1 guard all the way around with no fade. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I haven't done yet. But all right, you got me there. You got me. All right, cool. Let's jump over. On the YouTube, Abdurazak Isola says, hi, what's going on, man? The Paul Newman, welcome back. Alex up on the 3-way mirror, maybe use it a couple of times before making a final decision. I can see where you're coming from. If you guys don't know, I posted a video this past weekend about the 3-way mirror. I used it for the first time in my life. And there are many reasons why I didn't like the 3-way mirror. First and foremost, I think it's a waste of money. It's this one, the one that I bought was like $40. You can honestly spend up to like $100, even more, depending on what company you buy it from. You know, they pizzazz it with lights, and you know, I don't even know what they add to it to make it more expensive, right? Just a more luxury material. I don't know. To me, it's all just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Just another way to sell to you guys. And I don't think it's fair, knowing that there's a lot cheaper alternatives that are honestly better, given a lot of people's circumstances, right? I prefer the $7 mirror that you can get from Walmart and Target. It's only two mirrors, right? You're using the main mirror that already comes with your bathroom, and then you're using a $7 mirror. It's two mirrors, and you just rotate it at 45 degrees. It's so easy. $7 versus these three-way mirrors that, they're only like maybe a foot, what? I forget what it was. Maybe like 2 feet by a foot, and there's three of them. You're only limited to how much you can see. And to have really good to have a how do I want to word this? When you're cutting your hair, you want to have a really good field of vision. And so that might include, seeing from your chest up to here, right? It might include like a 3 foot gap just to make sure you're seeing everything, so you can kind of, see all your arm movements and everything that goes with it, right? Instead of just seeing your head and that's it. It makes a big difference when you can see your whole body and look at how you're moving and pick off with your eyes where you're going wrong with your formations in your body. So that's kind of a big thing. So the mirror setup, my mirror setup's cheaper. That's number one. $7 mirror setup, it's cheaper, way better, and it's just more accessible, right? Second thing, and this is the one that really irked me, when you hook up, there's so many things that are wrong with it, but when you hook it up against your door, right? You put it down, you find the right height so it's perfect with your head. Once you start cutting your hair, the problem lies in the fact that the hair, when you're cutting, all of it falls straight down, right? It flies onto your door, it flies onto the door handle, it flies all over the floor. And a lot of people, I don't think, understand or think that this is a problem. And that's because you haven't used the mirror setup that I use, because cleanup is a big, factor when it comes to giving yourself soft haircuts, right? You want to have the least amount of hair to clean up, or at least make the cleanup, a small section to clean up, not your entire floor, and have it all over your pants, all over your legs, all over your shoes, and then you're stepping in it throughout the haircut, where you could potentially slip and fall depending on the type of floor you have, whether it's tile, concrete, whatever it is. All of these factors that you just want to really eliminate as many negative factors as possible when it comes to cutting your own hair, because cutting your own hair is a hard task, is asking for enough as it is, right? You have to know the skill set, you have to know your clippers, you have to know how to use the lever, you have to have all the correct guards, you have to make sure your clippers are clean and are running properly. You have to know the guidelines, know how far you go, you have to know your hand movements and arm movements. You have to know so many different factors for cutting your own hair, and using the three-way mirror adds way more factors to cutting your own hair. And that's the biggest thing that I have with it. It's more expensive, and it adds way more negative factors than just the simple $7 mirror setup that I use, right? I'm not sponsored by Walmart or Target for a $7 mirror. And I've certainly been reached out by many companies to help to promote three-way mirrors. I finally used it, and it sucks. It's really just not as much as the hype is meant to make it out to be, right? It's just not worth it, and it just is what it is. Sorry to burst some people's bubbles, but I'm telling you from personal experience, I've been cutting my hair for 14 years. That's a long time, right? 14 years is a long time to be cutting your own hair. And the fact that I can use one mirror setup and say, this isn't worth it, use the mirror setup that I use, right? I've got no issues with changing and doing things new and doing things that might be better, right? Like, I've updated a bunch of things, clippers, you name it, right? Lights, all types of things. I've updated and made changes to make the factors less, right? To make it easier. If the three-way mirror was actually easier, I would say it's easier. and I would use it. I'm open to change 100%. But the fact of the matter is, for me, it's just really not, right? Like cutting your own hair, it's okay, right? The problem, you see the back mirror when you're looking at the one's here, the other one's here. You're looking at this one back here is slightly angled, so you have to like, tweak your head to like this in order for it to look like it's vertical or a 90-degree angle in the back one. So the mirrors just throw you off even more because there's three of them instead of just two. But man, I know a lot of you guys might have been like, hey, what's up with this three-way mirror? What controversy? But it's really just not all that it's cracked out to be. And I definitely don't recommend it if you have the opportunity to use the same mirror setup that I have. Now I get it. Some of you guys, or many of you guys, may not have a vanity that has the space in order to have the $7 mirror rotated at 45 degrees and then see yourself on both of the mirrors. That's fine. If you don't have that capability, no problem. Use a $30, $40, $50 three-way mirror and just deal with all the other factors that I just listed. Otherwise, if you do have the option, I'd recommend just the two mirrors. But that's just the way that I see it. And I'm trying to do what's best for everybody, and based on my experience, I don't think it's worth all the hassle to use the three-way mirrors. Please, solution of psoriasis. I don't know. It's a good question, but I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not too sure. I've never talked about psoriasis. Let's see, what do we have here? On the YouTube, the Paula Newman. How close are you placing the $7 mirror to the fixed mirror? My problem with it, that it feels like I'm too far from the mirror. Thanks for the responses. Yeah, let's see, is there a way I can do it right here? So, honestly, you're probably about 2 feet from the bathroom mirror, right? Like if this is the bathroom mirror right here, you're probably a solid 2 feet back and then angled at a 45-degree angle here. So it's, about 2 feet roughly. So it gives you plenty of room for you to at least expand your arms and maneuver properly, right? That was another thing that I had with the three-way mirror, is that they were so close to each other that I felt like I was like, crammed, like in a straitjacket. And it didn't allow me the breathing room, right, to keep my arms, out and about and loose. I felt like I was very constricted while using the three-way mirror. And that's something that's a mental thing on top of a physical thing, right? Like, if you're like claustrophobic, that's kind of a thing. And, some people, it could be a problem. And for me, I'm not really claustrophobic, but the fact that I couldn't move my arms like I usually do made it a lot harder. And I was, mentally aware of it the entire time, which obviously drains more energy. So yeah, the Paula Newman, I would say probably about 2 feet away from the main mirror in the bathroom is how far it should be. Marcus AI, thanks for all the content. I just started cutting my own hair a few months back and used your vids like a Bible. Nice, man, that's good. Can you recommend some great trimmers under $50? Absolutely, yeah, there's a handful. If you go to my website, let's go selfhaircutuniversity.com/equipment and then the hyphen tools. Check out the website here. Let me just make sure I wrote it properly. Check out this website here. These are all of the tools that I recommend. From clippers, trimmers, Angus Cool Care, scissor kits, the mirror setup. You'll see pretty much everything. LED lights, capes, neck dusters, the guards, all types of stuff. But yeah, absolutely. If you need a pair of trimmers under 50, definitely check out what I have on the website here. That's funny. Use your vids like a Bible. That's too good. Let's see here. I bought the scissors from your website and trimmed my hair. Thanks, Alex Kouras. You got it, man. Appreciate it, Alex. Please, yeah, let's see. Hey, man, what's up? STV, what's up, man? How you doing? But yeah, those are good questions. Let's see. Is there anything else that I didn't like? So what I said price point. I didn't like about the three-way mirror. I didn't like the price point, how it's more expensive. I didn't like the fact that the hair gets everywhere, so cleanup is harder, as well as the fact that you have the risk of like slipping and falling, because you're stepping in your hair the entire time, depending on the type of floor you have. What else? I went over the arm movement, right? There's less mobility because of the mirror setups. They're so small, so tight. What else? Oh, I said the fact that the mirror, when you're looking at the three mirrors, the back one, when you're looking at the far left one, looks like it's at a slight drop. So when you cut your hair, it looks like you're cutting it horizontally, but you're actually cutting it at an angle. And that was a big one for me, that I was like, this is not good. Like, the fact that I have to like tilt my head a certain way in order for it to actually be, horizontal, or just straight in general, that to me was a problem. Yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of things that I just didn't really like with the three-way mirror, and those are what, 4 or 5 of them that I just listed. So it's just, I'm looking out for you guys at the end of the day. And to be honest, if you just base it off of the first point, right, price, $7 versus, let's say, $40 to $100, you're saving money. I'm helping you save money. And on top of that, all of the other different factors that I listed too, it's like, come on, you guys. Like, I'm here to provide value for you. I'm trying to make it easier for you, right? I'm not trying to make it harder. These companies that are making these mirror setups, yeah, they're probably making it for those that don't have the mirror setup that I use. But if you do have the capability to do the mirror setup that I have, which isn't very difficult, it just doesn't make sense for you to buy these mirror setups for all this money, right? You're here to save money. That's right. The reason why most people cut their hair is because barbershops cost too much money, and you probably want to learn a new skill set so that you can save money for the rest of your life. That's just it. You're trying to save money. That's why I started, and that's why most people start, to save money. It just makes sense, and it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Nothing compares to an authentic Alex Kouras cut, though. Yes, sir. You already know. You already know. Hey, man, you gotta have that that hair cutting intuition. You just gotta know what looks good. You just gotta know. How often do you actually cut your hair? Good question. Yeah, I actually, every time I post a video on YouTube is when I cut my hair, right? So I cut my hair every 2 weeks, right? I thought about doing it for every week, but then I was just like, I'm too busy. I don't want to, spend, the time doing it and the energy, because tell you what, at least for me, because I have to film, I have these huge lights, this light behind me. I've got like 5 different lights, all LED, and I've got light eyes, right? Blue, green, whatever color you want to see. And I get headaches, right? I've done videos in the past where I literally had to put sunglasses on to finish the video because I was getting a massive headache because of all the lights. So the lights really drain my energy, and if I cut my hair, every week instead of every 2 weeks, I'm just going to get less, I'm going to be less productive and get less things accomplished. And I've got a very busy schedule, so I can't let that happen, right? I care more about accomplishing all of my goals and to-dos every single day and every week than looking as fresh as I could, if that makes sense. So I cut my hair every 2 weeks, just to keep it simple. But that was a good question. What's up, Instagram? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up? Jump over to the YouTube. Join in on the fun. All right, we got a question from Darren T. from the UK. I got the mirror set up and works perfect for me. Nice, man. Which mirror setup are you talking about? The three-way mirror or the one that I use? The Paula Newman asks, how about developing your own mirror setup? A four-way mirror, maybe. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, um, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely come across, my mind creating a mirror setup. But the problem is, it's really hard to beat a mirror setup where you only have to buy one mirror and it's only $7. So it's like, could I compete in this type of market? Probably not. Do I think there's a massive demand? I'm not too sure, right? You see a lot of companies that have these three-way mirrors, and who are they using as spokespeople to promote their product? It's usually barbers, right? And that's kind of counterintuitive for most barbers to teach people how to cut their own hair. It doesn't really make sense, right? You're kind of stealing your own business in a way, right? You're taking your own business and making them learn something that you do for money for free. So it doesn't really make sense. It's counterproductive for a lot of barbers to be taking in sponsorships from three-way mirrors, teaching them how to cut their own hair. And you see it all the time in these companies. So it's just like, doesn't make sense. And I don't think the market's strong enough, at least anytime soon, for this to be a real thing. But not a real thing, but a big thing, right? But that was a good question. I've definitely thought about it, but I don't think it's actually going to come to fruition, at least or anytime in the near future. I just don't think the self-haircut industry, I think it's literally minute compared to barbering or any other industry, right? It's so tiny, so niche. And the reason why is because, people don't want to have to put in work to learn this. They don't want to risk messing up their hair. Takes more energy. It's stressful to learn something. And to be honest, nowadays, everyone just wants to be convenienced. And that's why barbers are getting away with charging $50, $60, $80, $100 per haircut. Because people are, at this point, it's like convenience is the key, right? Provide something that conveniences people, and then what's going to happen? You're paying $100 for a haircut. Who does that? Haircuts used to be like, or you can get a haircut for like what, $25 in some places, depending on where you live. It's a lot of money, man. Barbers are taking advantage of people. Not all of them, obviously, but there's barbers out there taking advantage of people with their prices. And convenience is the key, man. You need to learn how to cut the top with scissors properly. Beauty of scent. You need to learn how to cut the top with scissors properly. Is that a question, or are you telling me that I don't do a good job? Let's see. Anything on the Instagram? What's going on, you guys? If you guys want to jump on YouTube, you can jump on Alex Kouras on YouTube. For those of you guys that are on YouTube right now, you can follow me on Instagram at Alex Kouras. I'll leave it here in the chat. Beauty of scent, I'm telling you. Yeah, I mean, look, your scissor skills are poor. That's funny. Yeah, man. If you're just here to troll, I mean, you can definitely leave because I know for a fact my scissor skills are nice. I mean, the haircut I have right now is kind of like this isn't the actual hairstyle that was meant for the haircut. This is just how I have it styled. I had it as like because this is basically like a runoff of a mohawk, right? I had a mohawk 2 weeks ago, and I would push everything toward the center and make it a mohawk, right? And I texturize it and everything. And obviously right now my hair has gotten longer, so I've just swooped it over to the side. But yeah, dude, please. Cutting your hair on top is really easy, and if you think my scissor skills are poor, you should go watch my other videos and stop trolling. Let me drink my water from my flask. That's funny. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, what other questions do you guys have? What do you guys think of? I forget what I was going to ask. Let's see. Simon Peters. Hi, Alex. I have crazy thick hair. What clippers do you recommend for really thick hair? Yeah, I mean, Simon, at the end of the day, you want clippers that are fast and you want clippers that are powerful. And when you've got thick hair, like myself, you need clippers that are strong. You need them to be fast and powerful. Because I've used clippers that are $30, $40, and they're not fast. The blades are weak. They're not sharp. The clipper runs out of battery in like 30 minutes, and it's just sometimes you have to spend the extra money to get something that's quality. So you might be looking to have to spend $50, $60, $70 on a clipper, right? Look at the specs, the specifications on the clipper, and compare and contrast something that's $30 versus something that's $60, right? $70. Go for the one that's faster, that has more battery life, that's more powerful. Because when you've got thick hair, the last thing you want is for a clipper to start losing its power, and then the blades slow down, and it because this has happened to me with a Remington that was like $25. The blade started slowing down, and like my hair got caught in the clipper to the point where the clipper almost stopped moving. The blade stopped moving. So I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And yeah, you might have to spend, if you've got thick hair, you're probably going to have to spend a little bit more money than a normal person just to have more powerful clippers, right? Thicker hair, you need more power. So spend a little bit more money, and I think that'll work. Do you have some recommendations for clippers? Good question. Yeah, if you go to, I wrote it in the chat here on YouTube. If you want to jump over to the chat right now, really fast. Otherwise, you can, since you're on Instagram, you can probably click on the link in my bio. I actually have it listed, I think it's the first link or the second link. No, the third link in the link in the bio is my recommended tools. So all of the tools that I recommend, clippers, trimmers, I'm sorry, not clippers, T-less, the everything that you need is there. So I try to make it pretty simple for you guys to find. Let's see here. Darren T, what hairstyle on yourself do you like best, and what is the hardest cut for you? That's a great question. What hairstyle on yourself do you like the best? That's because I like two particular haircuts. I like the haircut that I gave myself a few months ago. Hair longer on top, like at least another inch, maybe 2 inches longer than what it is right now. And then I would say not a hard part, but creating the hard part with your comb. Just run it slightly more towards the center, comb this side down, and then push both back, right? It's kind of like a classy pompadour type of thing, but everything's like slick back, and it's long enough. It looks really nice with a nice, probably mid fade on the side. I think I had this exact haircut. Well, let me see if I can find the link for it so I can show you. Something like this. Let's do copy link address. Something like this is kind of what I'm looking for. I'll post it in the chat here. And then where's my buzz cut from Greece? Let me see if I can find that one. Where's my buzz cut from Greece? Was this one? No, it wasn't that one. Where was it? This haircut was pretty nice too, not gonna lie. Where was it? The mullet was really nice. I like the mullet too. That might be number 3 on the list. But I would say the buzz cut that I gave myself in Greece last year. Where's the long form? I keep seeing the short. Here it is. I did it with a handheld mirror. Look at that. Yeah, this haircut. Let me see if I can scroll through here. I'll post the link here as well. I think this. Oh, oops. There we go. My bad. I'll post the link here as well. But this one, when I was in Greece, I used the 1.5 guard. It was a buzz cut. So I did. I think it was the 1.5 buzz cut, or I don't think I touched the top. But a week or two before, I did the 1 guard. So it was right around a 1.5 guard lever open on the top, with a nice like mid-high fade. I think it was a drop fade. But I used my handheld mirror for that self haircut. It was really good. It turned out fantastic. I really like the way that it turned out. So those two self haircuts I think are the my favorite hairstyle. And you said, what is the hardest cut for you? I think a taper fade is probably the hardest. And the reason why taper fades is so hard is because there's so much detail that you have to do for yourself on the back of your head, right? Cutting the back of your head can be challenging enough, but the fact that you have to do like, small increments, right? On the back of your head, on the very bottom, right? Your arm can only reach so much, right? That's why it's easier to give yourself mid fades so you can just, go up to here, and it's a lot less strenuous on your shoulder and on your arm. So giving yourself taper fades is a lot more challenging than any other type of fades. So that was a really good question. Cool. All right. The Paul Newman, I gotta go, but I appreciate you, my dude. Really glad I found you on YouTube. I'll catch you next week. Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Simon Peters, exactly what happens to me. Jams. Yeah, exactly, man. When you have a clipper that isn't powerful enough and you've got thick hair, the clipper jams. Your hair gets caught in it, and it hurts, right? That stuff hurts. So you have to buy more expensive clippers, right? It's happened to you. It's happened to me. Kisan, you are an awesome barber, dude. I would say thank you, but I'm not a barber. But I appreciate it. I'm more so. I would just say I'm a self hair cutter, right? I know how to cut people's hair. I know how to cut hair. I'm a hair cutter, right? I'm not a barber. I'm a self hair cutter. That's what I am. But I appreciate it. Oh, so Chuck, your videos gave me confidence to start cutting my own hair. Very appreciative of your time. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Thanks for joining. Glad I could help too. Killian from Brazil. What's up, Brazil? Nice, man. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, let me see. Do I have anything that I can share to you guys? Oh man, that's messed up. Let's see. What am I doing here? Let me go here. We get the live stream here. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, I guess for those of you that are still in, what other questions do you have for me? Self haircut related. Again, it doesn't need to be self haircut related. It can be anything, right? Anything that I'm really just big on self haircuts and real estate, right? Real estate. So I teach people how to save money on the self haircut side, and I teach people how to make money by buying an asset and using it as an investment vehicle, right? So I love to do both, right? I'm a save money guy and I'm a make money guy, and I'm definitely more of a long term make money guy, because I want that appreciation, and I want the cash flow too. But I care more about retiring at 40 than than seeing the instant money right now. Even though the instant money right now helps you buy more, but let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm not sure. Do you guys see any of the do you guys watch any of the real estate videos that I post? I know I updated my banner last week, so I'll just kind of tell you guys my schedule roughly. Let me see here. So basically, if you go to my page on YouTube, I wrote my schedule for the most part. So real estate, is Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and I usually just post shorts, right? 30 to 60 seconds short. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Today, Wednesday, is the Self Haircut podcast at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then for like self haircut related or men's grooming related content, it's always Friday for the short, and then Saturday for the longer form video at 9 a.m. Right, Friday and Saturday at 9 a.m. And then I also started posting more on Facebook as well, so you can catch me. You can even catch me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm pretty much everywhere. So that's what I wanted to ask you guys. Not sure if you guys watch any of my real estate content, but I definitely recommend you guys check it out, especially if you're looking to invest or learn more about it. Because I've got my first investment property. I'd say the property that I own already has $200,000 in equity because I bought it at such a good price, renovated it, and now it's really nice. Rented it out, used the BRRRR method, and so just trying to do more of that. So I have a pretty solid idea of what I'm doing, and I know how to get it done. I think I have a good connections. So feel free to ask me questions. I'm not just a noob at this real estate game. I think I know what I'm talking about for the most part. Obviously still learning, but pretty solid for little over 3 years. Where at? Yeah, here in Miami. Yeah, man. So I live here in Miami, and my property's in Miami. But good questions. Cool. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, if it's not during the live stream here, you can always reach out to me on Instagram. Just send me a DM, and I'll get back to you. Also, before I even continue, make sure you guys like the video, share it with a friend, and if you haven't already, definitely check out. I'll lean this way so that everyone can see TikTok or Instagram and YouTube. Check out Self Haircut University, guys. I know I don't plug it enough. You guys see it for like 60 seconds in my main video once a week. I rarely ever talk about it because it's just there. And I know that supply and demand, right? Self haircuts isn't that high on supply and demand. I think, and it sucks to say this, I think by the end of this year, if the United States does go into a recession and people start losing their jobs, like the media is telling us, then people are going to be forced into saving money. And what happened the last time everyone was forced into saving money because of COVID? Well, people said, you know what? Forget barbershops. Let's just learn how to cut hair. Obviously, there were other factors like, not being able to leave your house, but those were the first things that people cut off were haircuts. So I think it's not in high demand now, but I think at some point it will be, and it might not be the best reason why, but like I said many times before, I'm here to provide value, and that's really what I provide within Self Haircut University. It's nothing crazy. There's multiple options that are extremely affordable. I tried to make it very affordable for most people because I know you're here to save money, and I just think it's overall the best way to learn how to cut your own hair quickly with a very reliable source. You get live self haircut tutorials right on YouTube, live streamed tutorials. You get coaching calls, weekly coaching calls with me directly for like 45 minutes. It's just fantastic, and it's very affordable too. So highly recommend you guys check and get out if you haven't already. Last thing I want is for you guys to be forced into buying it because, a recession or something bad happens with the economy, or God forbid another type of COVID happens. So that's what I'm just gonna leave there. I don't like plugging things, that much, but I think it's highly, you guys should check it out for sure. Do you think Asian hair is the hardest hair to cut? Lauren Flat. Actually, I think Asian hair is pretty easy to cut. Asian hair is pretty odd because it's not odd. It's just sometimes you get Asians that have thick hair, sometimes you get Asians that have thin hair, but a lot of times it's usually straight. And straight hair, I've said this before, straight hair, especially like thinner hair, is really easy to cut, right? Thin and straight hair, really easy. Thick and straight, it's not as easy, but it's still easy, right? So I think Asian hair, for the most part, is just easy in general because it's straight. The second you start getting curls or thick or wavy, that's when it gets difficult. Warren Flat, do your videos and tutorials apply to Asian hair types? Yeah, I think for the most part they do, but I do think if you were to, the thing is, when it comes to Asian hair, you can freehand more, right? The hard lines don't really appear as much because most of the time it's usually thinner, but straight hair in general, you can just freehand a lot of the guidelines. So honestly, I think, yeah, you can learn from my tutorials and apply it to Asian hair, but I think you'll come to find that it's actually easier to cut Asian hair. Just by going through my tutorials, you'll just notice by using the different guards, it just comes easier. But that was a good question. What is the hardest hair to cut? I think when it comes to difficulty level for haircuts, I think hair density and thickness is the most important thing, right? The denser your hair, the thicker your hair, and if you add curls on top of that, that's probably the hardest, right? You could have some of the nicest haircuts with dense, curly hair, but it's probably going to be harder for you, right? I've got thick hair. It's more so wavy, not really curly, but it's thick. So it's kind of like the in-between. If you were to put me down in the middle, I'd be slightly toward, the harder side because every guideline that I put in my head, you see, right? There's no easy way for me to freehand my guidelines like I could with Asian hair. It just doesn't work, right? So I'd give my hair out of like a 10, it's probably like a 6.5 to a 7 in terms of difficulty. And then what makes it a 10, even thicker, curly, dense hair, that's like a 9-10. Because you're going to see every bit of the guideline. You're going to have more wear and tear on the clippers if you don't have good clippers. Like we said earlier, speed and power, you need those type of clippers for thick hair. But that's what I would say. Let's go over here. Justin Rohr. Hey Alex, I am wanting to do the Chris Hemsworth haircut from the movie Extraction, but my hair is not long enough on top yet. I was thinking of doing the fade. Is that a good idea? Let's find out. I don't know what you're talking about, so let's Google it, see if I can. Extraction. Alright, let me check it out. Extraction. Okay. Hey, let me show you guys so you guys can see. So basically this is where we at with the Chris Hemsworth haircut that he's talking about, right? And it looks like it's what? It looks like it's probably 5 inches on top in the front, and then it gradually shortens to maybe an inch in the back. So it's honestly the same type of haircut that I preach, when I cut the top of my hair, right? 5 inches in the front, give yourself that 45-degree angle, and then there you go. Let me see, anything else? Oh yeah, look at that. These guys did it too. Nice. Okay, what was your question now? I'm gonna do but my hair is not long enough on top yet. I was thinking of doing the fade. Is that a good idea? Yeah, I mean, why not? I don't see any problem with that. I mean, your hair doesn't need to be long enough to do it. I mean, it just won't be the exact type of haircut, which is perfectly fine. You just, just give it a month or 2 months, however long you think you need. But it looks like his hair is roughly about 5 inches in the front because the fact that it goes up and then swoops down and it's right about eyebrow length, you're looking at about 5 inches right there. So it might take some time, but you know, it's all worth it, right? I've been watching your videos for a while now. Great videos. Awesome. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it, man. Cool. Thanks, Alex. I'll check out your university. Appreciate it. Thanks, Warren. Yeah, man. Feel free to ask me any questions if you have any. Okay, let's jump over to Instagram. I think I saw a handful here. Okay. It's Alex15. Have you ever shaved your mustache but kept beard? If not, would you try it? Probably not. I've actually seen some people do that, and I just think it looks weird, to be honest. Like, I think I've seen some soccer players do it, and I was just like, that looks not good. I'm just not gonna try that. I feel like it should be the other way around, right? If you're gonna do one or the other, right, mustache versus beard, you should probably get rid of the beard and just keep the mustache, right? Kind of like the 70s or the 80s. I feel like it's hard for me to cut my own hair. My ADHD gets in the way. I think, and this kind of goes back to the conversation that we were having earlier about the three-way mirror. And this is really good that you're asking me this question. You think that your ADHD, or you feel like your ADHD gets in the way. And this is why limiting the amount of factors that you have with self-haircutting definitely makes it easier on your brain, on your mind, for you not only to just focus better, but not use so much energy, right? Not use as much energy as you would with a three-way mirror where you're adding all of these negative factors that make the haircut difficult, right? So I think when it comes to something like this, you feel like your ADHD gets in the way, you're losing focus. It's really just understanding and figuring out what are all of the things that you need to give yourself the best self haircut, and how do you eliminate every single negative aspect that could take a part in giving yourself a self haircut. For example, the three-way mirror, having a shorter cleanup time, right? Having all the hair fall into one spot and not fall by your feet, where you could risk falling, where you could risk slipping and hurting yourself, where you're constantly anxious and whatnot because the hair is all by your feet and you feel it while you're moving around and looking at yourself. And then not having mobility, all of these things when you're using through a mirror. All of these things are just added negative factors that you don't want to have when you're cutting your own hair. And I think if you do have ADHD, limit the amount of things that take away your focus. And that's just really the best answer that I can think of right now. But that was a good question, really good question. Have you ever thought of opening a hair studio? I wouldn't say it hasn't come across my mind, but I don't think there would be any need for me to do it. I'm not a licensed barber, so I can't be like, "Ho, everybody, learn from Alex Kouras, the guy on YouTube," and P.S. not a barber. That's like waiting for a lawsuit, right? So you have to like advertise as not being a barber, but then, hey, come to my hair salon, right? Type of thing. I find it really difficult. Hold on, what's that? What is it? Why is this lag? Why does that lag so much? Okay, there we go. I find it really difficult cutting the bulk of my hair, and when I try, it doesn't look faded as much anymore, and I have to shorten my hair so it doesn't look bad. And I'm not sure I'm able to understand by reading your question. Maybe rephrase it or send me like photos and then send me your question and I'll be able to help. But you're talking about bulk. It doesn't fade as much. Yeah, I mean, just a quick little pointer. You have to do a lot more detail work on the back of your head. Typically, the second you pass your ears, right? So if you're looking at cutting your hair like this, the second you pass your ears, all of this is a lot thicker than all of this. So you're gonna have to do more detail work with the side, like the back sides and the back of your head than just the sides, right? There's less hair right here than there is back here. So you're gonna have to take a little bit more time and really go through each guideline instead of going, 3 times for the guideline. You might have to go 10 times on the back of your head, just to make sure that all of the hair is cut evenly, right? And you didn't miss anything because it's thicker, it's denser, so you might need to go through it more. And let's see here. What Warren Flat, I can't seem to get a good blend near the top, and I'm thinking scissor over comb might be the only method, but I'm afraid to try it. So I meant clipper over comb. You recommend clipper over comb to an intermediate self hair cutter? I'll ask you this, or maybe I'll just say this. I've never done clipper over comb because I know how difficult it is. It's possible, don't get me wrong, but for me, I would rather just use thinning shears and blend it in with thinning shears than use clipper over comb. Just the mobility aspect of holding, a really large comb and then having a running clipper that close to all of your hair on top, I wouldn't risk it, especially if you're an intermediate hair cutter, self hair cutter. This is why you guys don't ever see me make videos about clipper over comb because it's too big of a risk for a self hair cutter. What if the clippers are hot, or what if, for some reason, I don't know, you lose the grip and they slip out of your hands, or you lose focus for a quick instant, and boom, you just cut a bunch of hair off and you didn't mean to. Or what if you're holding the comb up and it's at the wrong angle and you end up cutting too far into the top anyway, right? You're just safer using thinning shears. It's just a much safer alternative. But that was a good question. I hope that helped. Hey man, how to make straight hair get a lot of texture? I mean, point cutting is definitely a great way. Just look up point cutting. It's when you cut basically peaks and valleys in your hair, like a mountain, right? That's a great way to add texture. Yeah, I'm sure there's other ways, but I think that's like the biggest way that most people use. But good question. Can you be my personal barber? Just kidding. I don't know. I feel like I get a lot of anxiety that I might mess up. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're feeling anxious or you feel like ADHD might be the reason, then you might be jumping you might be I don't know how to word this, but you might be jumping the gun, basically, right? You might be skipping the foundation. Like I've always said, start from beginner and then slowly work your way up to expert level haircuts, right? I don't know if you're a beginner, if you're an intermediate self haircutter, if you're expert, but if anxiety and ADHD, right, lack of focus are the reasons why you're scared or whatever it might be, you're probably more so a beginner. And if you're trying to give yourself a fade, right, an expert level haircut, it might not be the best idea to go from beginner to expert all in one jump, right? That's why you're scared, right? You got to take baby steps, right? That's kind of how it is. And a lot of people don't want to take those baby steps. And, you have to. You just have to. If you don't want to feel scared or anxious, you have to take the baby steps, right? Start slow, right? Instead of going from a 3-step haircut to a 20-step haircut, maybe go from a 3-step to a 5-step and then a 7-step, right? And slowly work your way to that point, because at the end of the day, this skill set you're going to have for the rest of your life. Do you really need to rush and get it done within the next 2 months? Do you really need to rush and try and learn it within the next 2 months? Is it that important when you could be 50 years old still cutting your own hair if you've got a full head of hair? Or even if you don't. You could be 50, right? If you're 20 years old, 30 years from now, you're still going to be saving money cutting your own hair. Is it really that big of a deal to just take it a little bit slower and learn the foundation, learn the basics, right? I think it'll make you feel better too. It'll make you feel better about what you're doing. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna answer like one or two more questions before I have to head out. I gotta go take a shower and then get ready for night time, because I gotta wake up early, like usual. Gotta go back to work. Okay, hey man, how to, okay, answered that one already. Ate, what is your tips for people who are growing out their hair and how to grow hair faster? I think, the basic things for growing your hair faster, what is it usually? It's increasing testosterone, it's eating better quality whole organic foods, it's getting better sleep, it's drinking more, spring water, none of that Aquafina, water with metals and salt in it to make you want to keep drinking more BS. It's really just doing a deep dive into the details of life, right? Like health wise, right? Better sleep, longer sleep, more sleep, drink more spring water, a lot more water, sweat more, exercise, right? Lift weights, increase your testosterone. All of these things will help you, I guess, your hair grow faster. And this isn't like a grow hair fast trick. It's just your hair might grow half an inch faster over 3 months, right? That's just, that might help. I think it will help because when you think about it, I think a lot of people that want to lose hair start taking estrogen and then they start losing facial hair. So if you want to get more facial hair, you gotta get on that testosterone game. So that's just what I would say. Try to increase your testosterone as much as possible. Sleep, sleep 8-9 hours a day. Drink more water, right? Stay hydrated. And just eat good quality foods, man. No McDonald's, no Burger King, no Chipotle, or Chipotle's okay. No Chick-fil-A, that's what I wanted to say. No Chick-fil-A because there's like 100 ingredients in a freaking chicken patty. It's like, bro, get that crap out of here. Any fast food, anything in the middle section of the grocery store, stay away. Shop on the perimeter of the grocery store, right? Where all of the fruits and vegetables and refrigerated items are. That's going to be the best bet for you, right? Bottled spring water, right? Boom. I got spring water in this 32-ounce flask, right? That's all I drink. I don't drink sugary drinks. I don't drink lemonade, no Monsters, nothing, no juices, anything. I don't drink nothing except water, right? And I highly recommend you guys do the same. But that's just me. Okay, cool, all good. Thank you. I feel like I'm learning. Yeah, man, and you'll learn more by joining Self Record University. A lot of people are sleeping on it because the demand is so low. Because why join and learn how to cut your own hair when you can still go to a barber shop for a reasonable price, right? Until they keep jacking up the prices on you, and then you're like, why am I spending $200 on a haircut, right? At some point, it's going to reach a level where barbers are just going to keep pushing the envelope, and everyone's just going to be like, all right, man, I'm tired of this. And then barbers are either going to they're going to be stuck with two choices. Continue to charge a ridiculous amount for their haircuts and their services, or two, drop the pricing, right? Well, we'll see how that goes because inflation. Otherwise, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram at Alex Kouras. Go to YouTube, subscribe. Alex Kouras on YouTube. Check out, the content, check out the real estate content too, you guys. I mean, I'm not just a self haircutter. Even though I've been doing this for more than half my life, I'm also in real estate. So if you guys want to learn something in the real estate world, you can definitely watch my videos on Tuesday and Thursday. Otherwise, check out Self Haircut University. Again, I know the demand isn't that high right now for this type of niche, but at some point it will. And I've been doing this. I've had my course and my program for over 2 years now, and I've been doing this every week. So I'm still doing this. So if something happens 6 months from now, 12 months from now, you guys know that this is still a viable option for you to learn faster, save money, and what else? Save money, learn how to cut your own hair faster, and learn from me directly, right? Just how we're doing this right now. Live self-haircut tutorials, weekly group coaching calls with me directly, and then 120 plus lectures. So check it out, affordable pricing, and you guys will definitely not be upset by joining, right? So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Peace.